Good morning, my chicklets. Thank you for stopping by. Today I wanted to read you one of my favorite stories. Give me your name. Humans had once respected the Fae, but that was a long time ago. Now they were relegated to fables and myths, stories you told your children so that they would not wander off. This had made Janus's life easier and harder at the same time. It was harder to keep his forest warded so that humans wouldn't enter. A lot of magic was based on belief, and magic was weaker the fewer people who believed in it. Janus's belief alone was not enough to protect his home and his garden. Thankfully, humans still had fear. Janus could cultivate fear in humans, even if it was simply being a whisper in the forest, a quiet whisper in their ear. If need be, he could also use name magic. The name was such a powerful thing, directly tied to a human's soul if they allowed it to have that much hold on them. All Janus needed was for a human to be connected to that name, and he could hold sway over them. Typically, he told them to fear this forest and never return. It worked well enough. He never kept the names, returning them once he was sure the fear had completely set hold in a human's heart. He had once thought about making a collection, but he couldn't force that curse on someone. Janus had been cursed to never set foot into the Feywild again, never truly return home. A curse that stole portions of your free will was a horrid curse indeed, and he just couldn't do that. He refused to hold a human captive to such a degree. Living a half-life was no life at all. A sigh left Janus's lips as he felt another human enter his domain. He just wanted to bask in the sunlight alone, enjoying the warm rays, but it seemed like he would be interrupted. He waved his hand, sliding on his glamour, but deciding to stay under the sun's warmth for just a bit longer. His domain was vast, and it would be a while before they made it this far. While he waited, he listened to the sound the wind carried to him. Most humans, who were alone, would sing or talk to themselves. Janus could learn a lot from that. But this human was humming. They had a beautiful voice. He almost wished he could hear it in earnest, not hindered by the human's closed mouth. He fell into a lull, just listening and enjoying the warm sun. Apparently, he enjoyed it for too long. "Oh, hello!" He had lost himself in the noise and was honestly surprised that the human was so close already. "Hello," he said softly, pushing himself off the grass as he looked over the human. "What are you doing out here, young one?" They were a teenager, dressed in a floral patterned dress, their hair tied up. They looked female from the outside, but that didn't seem to match the aura that this person was giving off. "Well, I, thought it would be nice to get away from everything. Sorry if I bothered you, kiddo." Kiddo? Well, that was certainly curious. Janus eyed the human, trying to figure out what was going through their mind. "It's all right, young one, but it is not safe out here. You should leave." "Oh, well, I don't really have anywhere else to go for now." "No family?" "No, I have family. It's just not as comfortable around them." Janus nodded in understanding before trying to think that thought off. He couldn't sympathize with a human. He needed to chase them away. "May I have your name?" "Oh, my name is Emily. What about yours?" Emily. There was a thickness to the name, no pull towards the human soul. "No, that's not your name. That's not the name of your soul." "Huh?" Janus shook his head, dismissing the question. "You may call me Jay for now, but you really should leave this forest." He tried to pull it off, calm, but a hint of worry had spiked through him. Did this human know about the Fae? Is that why Janus was given the wrong name? Or was this something else? A human who had not found their true name yet. Janus looked the human up and down one more time, really getting a sense of their aura. It was in chaos. A storm without a definition. Their true name was hidden from them. He relaxed a bit. This wasn't a threat. "Jay? That's lovely. Do you mind if I stay here with you for a while? I can be quiet if you'd like." He could try to chase the human away, but he was curious. "Very well, but you should not come back to this part of the forest again. It's dangerous." "Then why are you here?" "I know how to protect myself. And you can protect me, right? Janus looked over at the human, eyes softening as he saw the curiosity and last lingering hints of innocence. Yes, but I cannot promise I will be here to protect you again. Emily nodded before sitting down in the grass, head turned up to the sky. It was peaceful and quiet, though the quiet didn't last. The human once again began to hum, and Janus relaxed under the soft music and the warm sun. For a brief moment, he wondered if he might want to keep a human companion. The forest could grow lonely. No, he wouldn't subject another life to isolation. He would enjoy the quiet companionship while it lasted, and then he would do what he had done with the others. When the sun began to set, Janus pushed himself up. I hate to end our time together, but it is getting late. You should return home. The human tensed, and Janus did not like what that implied. I guess you're right. I shall walk you to the edge of the forest. You said not to come back, but what if I want to return? I would like that. Janus said that before he had a chance to think about the decision, his body and nature betraying him. Was he really that lonely? Still, he couldn't regret it as the human smiled and squealed, jumping up and down a little bit. Thank you so much, Jay. Suddenly, he was being hugged, and Janus realized just how long it had been since he had last felt human contact. He tried to brush it off, but the surprise was brimming in his eyes. The human just smiled, waved, and ran off. They would have no trouble making it through the forest. Janus began to find himself with the human companion more often than he expected. Emily would return at least once a week and would talk about school and life and how things were changing. Janus had thought that he would hate the constant conversation that the bubbly humans seemed to fall into after they felt more comfortable. Instead, he found it comforting. When his human eventually said they were leaving, and probably wouldn't be back for a long time, Janus felt his heart sink. He truly would be losing a friend, but maybe it was for the best. On your last day here, I will give you a gift, but you will have to make me a promise in exchange. Of course, Emily had agreed. There was never any reservations in this one. On the last day, Janus revealed his true name, giving his friend a protective charm. Then he whispered, in exchange for this gift, I want your true name. Do not come back until you find it. There was no malice in his voice, just a silent reassurance that he was going to miss his human. Emily hugged him again before leaving, clutching the charm close. Janus never saw Emily again. Instead, years later, he was introduced to a new friend, his body matching his aura, a bright smile on his face, and a similar dress to the one he had worn when he first came into that clearing. The human held out his hand as soon as he saw Janus, an all-too-familiar charm hanging from around his neck. Hello, my name is Patton, and if you are the fairy Jay, I would like to give you my name. Janus smiled, holding his hand out for Patton. Welcome home. Thank you all for listening. Again, this story was Give Me Your Name. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.